Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, no matter what time of day it is, no matter where you are in the real world. Thank you for also being here in this fictional one that we are slowly putting together. Together. Look at that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another day with Sully Sketches. I am Sully Sketches, and without further ado, let's begin with our usual tour through the tower, as we do. We got some things to review, as it is November. There's some new additions. I'm gonna turn this down even more, just to be extra safe. Make sure it's not louder than me, because I might not be the loudest today. I've had a pretty busy past month and work week this week, so it's crazy. Keeping busy, but having fun. And same goes for streaming, especially. Go ahead and commence our tour of the tower. Just a reminder that ads will be starting here soon. I did snooze them, but when they do appear, there are a few ways to avoid those that include subscribing down below or using any other number of methods that I'm not supposed to encourage, but I don't judge. Let's go ahead and make our way down through the tower, starting up at the top. Guitar Center, where I have my monthly musical recommendations, as well as I usually replace different pieces of art. I haven't picked what piece of art to put here specifically. I do have an idea, and honestly, yeah, because I'll probably only show it off today. Well, we'll go over it in more detail when we... ooh, I don't know if I have... I may. Just depends on where I put it. I will find it some other time and plug it into here, because I do have it ready on another screen. So, I will replace that thumbnail at some point, but friendly reminder that you can go check out my YouTube channel for more fun thumbnails, and hopefully more coming out soon now that we no longer have the event going on. Things aren't as hectic. As for my musical recommendations for the month of November, we have our 3 categories as standard, the rules that we continue to apply. Old school album, an album that is 10 years old or older. And this time, an album that turns 10 this year specifically, a big favorite of mine, one of the few modern-ish albums that I have on vinyl, and one of the first vinyls I ever received. Random Access Memories by Daft Punk is a super fun, super like atmospheric album that I think can be listened to all at once or can be listened to in little pieces. For instance, the song Get Lucky comes from this album, and you know, a lot of people know Daft Punk for that song. But there are a lot of other tracks that are just as funky, just as fun, and just as worth like spending hours and hours over analyzing. So for an old school recommendation for the month, we have Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. For a new school album, an album that came out this year, something I think is new, fresh, does something that hasn't been done or hasn't been done in a while and is being done in a new way. Jericho by Iniko, and I'm not sure if I'm getting their name exactly correct, but yeah, the song is called, and the album is called, that it is featured on, but the song that got my attention I found on social media, on TikTok and a couple other platforms, was Jericho. An absolutely super fun track that absolutely shows off the artist's vocal range and their just like understanding of composition. Everything ties together so beautifully. At sections it feels entirely a cappella. And I can't quite tell if it is or isn't, and it has just such a wonderful, like, open sound to it that I really recommend you check it out. November's a lot of atmospheric stuff this month, but something that's a little less atmospheric, a little bit more direct, a little bit more in your face. This month's artist, album, whatever you want to refer to, Who Needs Love, is going to be... let me double check that I get this right, because they're a smaller, newer band. My First Time Wind Up Merchant. Absolutely super fun track, super fun sound to it, and I can't wait to see what the rest of their first EP or their first album ends up being. But this track in particular, I found on Spotify's like Just Emerging playlist, and it was within like 2,000 listens at that point. and I super duper recommend you go check it out because it's phenomenal. And even I think this is like the band. This is their first song, but I think that maybe a few of these artists have had experience in other bands because this is very technically skilled punk pop fusion. Like very just knowing, like somebody who's at least been listening to the scene for a long time. And just the entirety of this track, it's just fun, kind of tongue-in-cheek humor that is just like classic British punk, and I really recommend you go check it out if you haven't already started typing it into your search bar, because you should be. Alrighty, Rooski. Continuing to make my way down the tower, past Guitar Center down to Radio Shack. Here in Radio Shack, I actually have some art to show off for the month. So let me turn off TV3. Is it? I believe it's TV3. Oop. Yes. Awesome. So we'll turn off that one. And you know what? I'll go ahead and turn off TV1 as well, just to be extra. Oh, no, TV2. There we go. And I'm going to show you guys some art that I've gotten done and talk about that for a moment. And then we will come back to Radio Shack later, and we will do a quick presentation on some new features that are getting introduced to the channel. We'll go over that in a minute. That'll be a little bit more formal. I'll cut over to YouTube by itself. This piece of art that you're seeing now is a commission that I just wrapped up this past month for our friend Honduras, who you should go check out here on Twitch, as well as on any other platforms that he might present on. No, he at least has a TikTok, if not some other socials you can go follow. But Honduras has been one of many Skelly tubers who I've met through my time streaming, who has been an absolute just great dude to work with. Has been super fun to watch, and has been super fun just in the couple occasions I've gotten to talk to him. Doing this commission was super fun. Did it in a few different layers so he can kind of use these pieces interchangeably, and he seems to be really happy with the result. His community seems to really like his new Just Chatting page, so I'm really happy that this turned out really good. And I'm also super excited to show off this other piece that he's doing, where he's taken some of the pieces from this, some of the little elements that I built into that scene, and is including them in some of his future merch that has just been released on Fourth Wall. So I super duper recommend you go check it out. But if for any reason, just because it's your boy, we're over there on the crew page. Lots of shout outs to Honduras and everybody else, Stoof the Skeleton, Nalo Nicolio, and Lilith's Eternity. Shout out to every one of these artists because they are super awesome, and they designed many of these other small pieces that form together to create like the total merch. And I'm just super thrilled with how everything came out. In particular, I will say I'm a little biased to any of the pieces that include my elements, but even these other pieces, some of these 2014 versions of the logo and stuff like that look awesome, and I'm super happy to see that Honduras is making use of all of them. And I honestly may even go ahead and get myself something like this, something like a pair of the shoes, because these are just too cool. With the original logo by Stoof the Skeleton, this little Hondo here by Nalo, and then of course the background elements with the Sleepy Shinks, the most important part. One of the first details that Hondo named that I just knew exactly how I was gonna nail it down, and it was super fun. A lot of this took a lot of like experimenting, but when he said I need Sleepy Shinks graffiti, I was like, oh, absolutely, let's get on it. And there it is. So I might have to get these shoes just as a little of this little collaboration we've done. But shout out to Hondo, everybody else, one last time. You guys rock. Thank you so much for including me and like being willing to reach out. Just because you happen to see my art here on the channel, which is the whole reason I stream. So thank you. We will set this up in a minute, but then we're going to move down to Toys R Us, where I can talk about the chat team points and kind of reset them for the next month. Because here we can see that Orange Team won last month with 1,400 points, which I'm going to record up there. we got our current goals for the month, but I kind of want to be a little bit more flexible, not only with my goals but with my schedule, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit throughout the night. Just because I wanna get that nailed down. I want to feel like I have like total control of not only my stream but also what I'm accomplishing here on stream with you guys. And I want to feel like I got a full handle on it. So while I load up my hands real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to Blockbuster, get this presentation ready. I don't see my hands here. Let me this folder open. There it is. That up. Hello, friend. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. How goes it? How goes the day? Whatever time of day it might be for you. Made it just in time. Gonna be starting with some conversations and some new features, some new updates, stuff like that. So I'm very excited. Welcome in. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. And because you just got here, I'm not sure if you saw it. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna bring it right back up real quick, just to show you tomorrow. I think you'll appreciate it. Do I have? Yeah, I'll just pop back over to Radio Shack real quick and then open this link. Sent it to myself earlier just to avoid losing it. I recently did a collaboration and commission with Honduras, and not only does he have a new chatting page, that's really cool because of it, he also included some of these elements in some of his new merch, which is super duper fun. Sometimes just as like sticker backers, where you can see here he's got a bunch of his stickers with just the just chatting screen as a background, and he's got like these shoes here, with the shoes have like the full backdrop. So very excited with how this turned out. Here you can see my hands now overlaying over top, which is good. Load it up, and lots of little like fun pieces I put in there for Hondo. I also made a couple different versions of this hand that he can use, both on this screen and with some other ones, so hopefully serves him well. And just actually, I don't know, I'm pretty sure I got this working, so let me try to do this real quick, just because I want to give a shout out to Honduras. He's been super awesome. Yeah, there we go. Oh crap, let me, there we go. Forgot I set the clip.
I love how behind me
I haven't done a shout out yet.
Nice ass.
It's a different layer of intimidation.
So yeah, shout outs to Honduras and everyone else who worked on this project here, because it was awesome. Let's do the skeleton, Nalo, Phyllis. But I rambled about that enough. Sorry. We will switch back over to Radio Shack, and I will get this presentation moving. And then we'll kind of have some conversation about what was I thinking? Schedule, because I'm thinking about trying to find a way of doing a more flexible schedule, so that I'm streaming the same amount, but the day I'm streaming, at least the second day I'm streaming of the week, is a little bit more flexible. Maybe gets changed around a little bit more often, something like that, just by design. Yeah, okay, cool. Everything ready. Let's go ahead. Awesome. Thank you for doing that. I try to keep everything going in VODs, but also I don't know if everything's saved in the animations over or not. Some of these items just may not animate. I very quickly tied this together while I was at work today. So just to explain the new chat team trophies, which you can see very quickly here in Toys R Us. You can see the new trophies all laid out, but you might be curious as to what they do, and I'll partially explain it, but I can't fully explain it because they have some questionable qualities. But let's get into there. Chat team trophies. The cursed items to decorate the Technolich Tower, the how, the what, and the why. Concept. Using the established chat team points in each month's victory, design a series of items based on magical items with awful side effects. To give you guys a little bit more control of stream, but also some more antagonistic options more than anything, I thought would be more fun for you guys to be able to play with. And I spent some time whipping these up over the past month very quietly while I've been working on some commissions and Spooktober, and honestly, just riding the line on Burnout, but not quite ever reaching it. So we are doing freaking fantastic. Hell yeah. I joke, but do be careful not to burn yourself out when you take on a bunch of tasks like this. There we go. So, the items I've enchanted thus far. These artifacts are already teeming with powerful magic. Do you dare touch them? So as you may have seen them in there are three trophies I've already enchanted, and a fourth one that I've made, but I haven't added an effect to yet. And I see that my TV is currently in the way, so let me move. Wrong TV. My TV 2? Yes, there we go. The trophies I've created so far, the orange canopic crow, which was already in the tower, we kind of had in there as an example of what the other ideas should kind of look like. The blue haunting portrait, the orange hiding gnome, and then one remaining item that you may have seen. Well, I turn back on my TV. The unnamed green trophy, the remaining item. The final and newest trophy remains unenchanted, and I need your help to decide what to imbue it with. So send me your best ideas in chat so it can be added to the shelf with the others. So if you have any ideas today or in future streams, anytime until we name it, for what this one's enchantment should be, then we can go over we can go over different ideas and then see what we come up with. We'll come to an agreement, but as for the other ones, you'll have to kind of find out through using them, through touching them, what the curse of these items are. But remember, these items are cursed. While some curses may act as only temporary distractions, others are much more dangerous and may unload an unknowable level of silliness. The stream, game, activity, or streamer are at all derailed by any of these magical effects, Sully absolves all responsibility. This is a precursor warning. I'm letting you guys know. If you press any of those buttons, I'm not responsible for how silly I get. Feel free to clip your own victory should you derail the ongoing ritual well enough. You get it. So, as you'll see down in the bone shards list or in the bone rituals list, the channel points. These 4 icons already exist. One of them is not able to be afforded because it doesn't have an enchantment yet, can't be used yet. But as for the other 3, they are active, and if you'd like to know what they do, you can use the necessary number of channel points to go ahead and activate them today, tomorrow, or whenever you think is going to be silliest, and we can find out what these items do. There's the end. Ta-da! I love doing the little PowerPoints. It's super easy. And most of it was animated, so that's a win. All right, we'll go ahead and close this